It's definitely winter time now. And what comes in winter? Stouts. So we've got the first of my stouts for this week. It is a supermarket stout available in Morrison's. This is called a Brownie Huntress. But what's it going to be like? Keep on watching to find out. Welcome back to Rocker's Beer Review. Today we're doing a stout. Now it seems to be a long while since I last had a stout. A very long while, in fact. And this is a stout from Wild Child Brewing, and it's called Brownie Huntress. And it says here it's an export chocolate fudge brownie stout, 7.4%, and it's won some awards according to the label here. And this is available. I can pick this up from Morrison's. I think it was about £3.50 or maybe £4. They're usually a bit more expensive stouts, but yeah, let's crack it open and see what it's like. I've got it at the right temperature. It's been in the fridge, but you know, I've had it out a good hour and it is exploding everywhere. You can see that there. We're getting it pretty much everywhere. Let's see what this is going to be like. It's very, very lively when I'm pouring it. Okay, let's keep it at that because we've got a massive tan head there. So we've got a massive tan head. Jet black though. I think that will settle. The head's quite sort of compacted. It still does look a bit like a Coke. Yeah, and what else can we say about it? It's definitely jet black. See what the aromas are like. Loads and loads of milk chocolate. Really, really chocolatey. Yeah, and then there's a sweetness in there, that sort of fudge, caramel-y sort of flavour. Or aroma, I should say. And then a malty backbone, really. You know, it smells like a chocolate stout. The key for me with any of these stouts is whether it's going to be too thin, whether the body's going to be right. 7.4%. I'm more confident than underconfident. It was like 5%. I'd expect it to be too thin, but let's just top it up a little bit. I mean, it looks a little bit Coca-Cola even when you pour it out. Well, let's try it. Cheers, everyone. Yeah, it's a little bit too thin. It's far too carbonated for my liking in terms of a stout. And it's, you know, and that really, that's the thing that ruins stouts. So I stay clear of them, you know. Sometimes the imperial stouts can be just a little bit too, not even gloopy, that's not the right word, a bit like oil, you know, being poured, you know, sort of, not thick, but very sort of gloopy. Yeah, gloopy is the best thing. But this, you know, when you drink it, you think, the texture's very much like drinking a Coke. But obviously you're getting those chocolatey flavours. You're getting that big malty flavour as well. Am I getting much in the way of fudge, brownie? I wouldn't say I'm getting any of that sort of cakey sort of texture in there or flavour. I'm not really getting anything like fudge or caramel really that much. For me, it's like a fizzy chocolate Coca-Cola. It's not bad. I mean, the maltiness is there and it doesn't go into that sort of really bitter and also almost licoricey sort of flavour. It definitely keeps that sort of light, sweet sort of milk chocolate. I wouldn't say it goes into a sort of dark chocolate sort of flavour. But it's just, for me, it's the body. It just does it. It's just too fizzy. It's just too carbonated for me to really enjoy. And I think that's the thing. When I drink a stout, I'm always sort of, to some extent, comparing it with a Guinness, which is not always the right thing, but that smoothness, that sort of no fizziness, that very low levels of carbonation, the way it just sort of glides down. The trouble with this is that you get the flavour sort of thinks, oh, this is going to be smooth, and the flavour's quite smooth. But as it sort of is in your mouth, it just feels very alien because it feels very, very fizzy and very over-carbonated. Sometimes I wonder in some of these beers if they did a nitro version, sometimes you can get rid of that sort of prickly carbonation. But flavour-wise, it's not bad. And I mean, I'm not a massive connoisseur or really a great lover of stouts. If you go through my channel, you know, of all the videos that I've done, it's probably half a dozen stouts that I've done. I mean, again, looking at the glass, I think it looks pretty good. You know, it's got that nice little frothy head, which I do like a little bit of a frothy head, but it's nice and black. The flavours are good. There's nothing sort of weird, and it's not overly sweet either. But for me, it's got too much of that fizziness about it. But, you know, we've had some stouts, supermarket stouts. A lot of people, the Vocation one that we had, that was Sweet Temptation, I think it was called. I don't even know if it's still available in the supermarkets. Again, the flavours were there, really tastes good. Unfortunately, it was too thin and it was too fizzy, and I don't like that in a stout. It doesn't work for me. It needs to be a lot smoother than it is. So let's get some scores for the Brownie Huntress. Okay, the scores are in for Brownie Huntress by the Wild Child Brewing. This is a chocolate export. I'm not sure what the export bit means. I think it's just a little bit higher on the ABV. Export chocolate fudge brownie stout, 7.4%. Actually, when I read that, it does say we're proud to bring the latest instalment in the Brownie Hunter series. The export strength stout has even more mouthfeel and flavour than its lower percentage counterparts. Well, I've got to admit, I haven't tried the lower percentage counterparts, but this doesn't really do it in terms of its mouthfeel. But let's go through the scores. First, the aroma. Well, as soon as you opened it up, getting a lot of that sweet chocolate. There's a lot of chocolate aroma in this. Not really picking up huge amounts. There's a subtleness of caramel, sort of fudge. There's not really that sort of cakey sort of aroma either. Nice sort of roasted malts as you'd expect from a stout. It smells pretty good and pretty inviting, so I'm going to give it 14 for aroma. Appearance-wise, well, it's jet black. You can see that there. I like the fact that it is retaining a head all the way through, even though it's only a sliver of a head. When it poured, we did have a nice sort of tan head, and I think for a stout looked pretty good, so I give it 8 out of 10. Flavour. Well, in terms of the flavour, they're like the aromas. You're getting a lot of chocolate in terms of that flavour. You're getting a little bit of caramel. You're getting the roasted malts as you would expect. But what ruins all of that great stuff is the fact that it still feels and the mouthfeel is still like a Coca-Cola. It's too fizzy, there's too much carbonation, it's too thin, and I think that with all of that, it almost ruins those sort of quite pleasant and nice, rich, malty, chocolatey flavours. It's just the mouthfeel just ruins the whole beer for me. So I'm giving it 29 for flavour. Value for money, well, as I said, this is a Morrison's beer, supermarket beer. I think it was about £3.50, but don't hold me on that. It's somewhere between £3 and £4, I think. I don't think it was more than £4 because it's not an imperial stout. So I think pretty good value. As I said, if you like these sort of stouts, I think it's worth trying. 8 out of 10 for value. And then my overall experience of this beer, as you know, as I described in the flavour, the problem is it's too fizzy. It's too thin, it's too fizzy, there's too much carbonation, it's prickly carbonation. It doesn't sit well for me in a stout. If I want my stouts to be, I mean, let's face it, I really prefer nitro stouts in terms of the mouthfeel because they always hit them off with the mouthfeel. Sometimes the big imperial stouts, they can be a less carbonation, but they can still be a little bit thin and don't give that nice sort of, the same sort of mouthfeel that you would expect from a nitro stout, like a Guinness, you know, that sort of soft, smooth, goes down really well. This is too prickly in its carbonation and it ruins those chocolatey flavours. And there isn't much in the way of cake or sort of fudge really that sort of, that really it's not, it doesn't give that level of complexity. It's very much like a milk chocolate stout really. So I'm going to give it 10 for overall. Tighten those scores up, we get 69 out of 100. It's an okay beer, but as I said, if it was a nitro version, or if it just the mouthfeel was better, it would certainly go up much more in the points because it's scored better for flavour and better for overall. But for me, too fizzy, and I don't like fizzy Coca-Cola chocolate flavoured beer. It doesn't do it for me. So we've got another stout coming, and I hope that's going to be better. I have heard good things about it. It's from Northern Monk. It's one of the North Star series, so that will be coming up in the next few days. So this is a big change for me, you know. You don't see many stouts on this channel. I'm not a huge lover, but basically because I don't want to be going through hundreds and hundreds of stouts to find one that I really like, and I've never had one that I want to have again. So hopefully that may change over the next couple of months. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you like it, give it a thumbs up. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. Really helps the channel. As we get closer to Christmas, there's a lot more beer coming. So, you know, I know that I haven't been releasing daily videos as much as I would like, just because I haven't been drinking as much beer. But that will change as we get into these sort of winter months. So, until the next one, you know what you're going to do. Keep on rocking.